Welcome to Laser Secrets, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of medical aesthetics. I'm Jamie, your guide to the science, safety, and strategies that help you deliver real results. Whether you're a new provider or a seasoned pro, we're here to level up your laser game because great skin starts with great science.
Welcome back to Laser Secrets, the podcast where we help aesthetic providers, med spas, wellness clinics, and laser professionals create better results, more confidence, and more profitability through smarter systems, not guesswork. I'm Jamie, and today we're diving into something I believe could completely shift the way you view your Zerona or Emerald laser body contouring business. Because I'm going to say something bold. You probably do not have a device problem, and your clients probably are not the problem either. What you likely have is a system problem, and once you understand that, everything changes in your practice. First of all, your device isn't broken. I hear it all the time on my coaching page, Zerona Glow Your Business. Jamie, I'm not getting the results I thought I would. This isn't working for us. We didn't do anything past the initial open house. My clients aren't losing inches. Maybe this doesn't work. Okay, I've heard it all, and trust me, I get it. I'm also a provider. I have the Emerald in my practice and the Zerona VZ8. I used to have the Zerona Z6. When you invest in this technology, you expect the technology to deliver. And here's the truth. The lasers are tools. I love them. They're amazing tools. But the outcome is directly related to your processes. These devices we absolutely love. And in my opinion, they are literally the best body contouring options on the market. But they're not magic wands. The providers who consistently crush it with Zerona and Emerald lasers understand something others miss. For one, they're not just focusing on selling just the sessions. They're using this as a transformation because we know not only do these devices give our patients and clients what they want aesthetically, we are helping them to improve their health as well. We are guiding a transformation, and results truly are influenced by this handful of things that we might not have really thought about as the whole package when we bought the device, when our awesome clinical development team came out, taught you how to use it, all of the scientific background, you read all the FDA trials. But then what? Your results are influenced by, for one, a really clear, really thorough consultation. And I will talk a little more about that as I go on. We want to make sure we're supporting them lymphatically after every treatment. So hydration, movement, nutrition habits. We really want to make sure we're setting proper expectations. We're measuring our results properly and consistently. We're coaching our clients. We're helping them with their mindset, but also, and this is so big, our mindset, our team's mindset, and making sure everyone is doing everything very consistently and uniform so our patients and clients get what they're paying for. We also need great follow-up communication. That's why one clinic can dominate with the same device another clinic says doesn't work. So same tool, different system, dramatically different results. Another thing I hear also when I'm chatting with providers and helping them to troubleshoot, like, why isn't this working for them? What's happening? Is talking about the clients. Some providers believe that the clients just aren't compliant, and that's where they're going wrong, or they're just not willing to pay for it. So they may not even be presenting it to their patient base, or, a number of things that are basically putting the blame on someone else. And like I said, this is real talk today because I want you to be successful, and I know you can be successful no matter what your demographic is. If you're a chiropractic office with a Zerona, if you're a med spa with an Emerald, a naturopathic office, anything like that, I know you can be successful. But a lot of it is our clients and patients are failing because they were never given a clear roadmap. So think about this, and I want you to be really real when you think about your program. Did they receive exact water goals? Like, how much water should they drink every day? At my clinic, we say, take your body weight, cut it in half. That's how many ounces a day you should be consuming or more. If you're exercising or it's warm, going through, what are they eating? What sabotages them? Do we know this? What movement feels good to them? What is doable? Helping them to strategize. If they have busy weeks, they're a busy parent, business owner, whatever, everyone's busy, trying to strategize with them. How often are you measuring them? And what does success look like? If we're not doing these things, you're left guessing. Your team is left guessing. Clients are confused, and oftentimes they are disappointed. And this might be because there weren't clear expectations. They weren't measured properly. They're just kind of going, well, I don't know if it did anything. So we want to make sure we are tightening up our processes to make everything measurable and consistent. That way, if, we go off the rails a little bit, if our client is, having a bad week, you can help them to strategize that, but you do that during that week, not, when you're wrapping up a, 12 session package and then you're wondering what went wrong. That is not when we want to be troubleshooting this. So my philosophy on this is simple. Clients and our team crave leadership. They just don't want treatments. They want certainty. They want structure. They want someone to actually say, here's the plan. Here's how you're successful. And truly, when providers embrace this, they level up. So really, like I said, real talk, stop being someone with a machine. It may be the most amazing machine, which if you have an Emerald or a Zerona, it's awesome. But become more than that. Become the trusted guide. Become the person or the practice that is going to truly help them to look better, feel like taken care of. Every single person that walks into your clinic, and I know, I'm preaching to the choir, we all care greatly about people, but spend the time, help them, guide them, show them the way. And that's where I'm going to give you just a quick little nugget of information that you can implement now. First of all, consultation. Take the time to actually have a great consultation. At my practice, we typically plan for an entire hour to meet with the potential client. And during this time, we explain, after we dig in and really find out what is their goal, what brought them to here today, what have they tried in the past? Then we offer our solution, which is our great program, which should be all of those things we just discussed that go along with and enhance the benefits of these great lasers. So in the consultation, after we establish what is their goal, then we offer the solution. That's when we talk about what the device does, what it doesn't do, what their expectation is in their role and their results. Be really upfront about this and realistic on the time frame. This prevents disappointment, and it really sets your client up with proper expectations. So that turns someone from the, when you do all these things and you give them the roadmap, at the end of that 12 session, say, package, and if you've been checking in with them with every session, asking them, how are you doing? How are you sleeping? How are you feeling? What's your water like? All of that. That way you can catch anything where they might have a bad week, but you're catching it. At the end of that package, even if they did not get the most optimal results, they know their part, that they may have gone off the script a little bit. And that turns someone from saying, this didn't work for me, I want a refund, to, you know what, I kind of messed this up. I'm going to do an add-on package. And I've been an Emerald provider since I was one of the first ones when it first came out. I've been a Zerona provider for about 6 years. And I was an FDA trial site for the Zerona VZ8, which is fantastic. So trust me, I've seen this over and over and over, and we have tweaked everything and gone back to the drawing board. And that's why I see how so many providers are getting overwhelmed and just not following a great process. Intention is there. I know this. I know a lot of you guys personally. Let's tighten everything up and make you some money. So, consultation, like I said, huge, 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 huge. I have spoken to, I hate to say that it's more providers than I like to hear, but many that add, say, the Zerona as an afterthought to their practice, and they are overwhelmed maybe with adding another device and they just want it to make them money and get their ROI. They put it in a room, they put people in front of a video for the consultation process, and then they are wondering why the results are either lackluster or there's no one signing up for it. So that's where, please take the time. It will pay you dividends. You will get your ROI back faster than almost anything else in your practice. And I'm coming from someone who, for one, we have a full service med spa with everything from toxin filler to tattoo removal to hair removal and everything. And then unique side of it too, my business partner is a chiropractor. So we have another flip side. We share a lobby, and oftentimes these are the same patients and clients funneling from one business to the other. So please take the time to do a really great consultation. And if you're the main provider and you just do not have the time for this, consider hiring someone, even part-time, to train them right, because really it will pay for itself. We typically average between $250 and $300 per session, depending on the package. And that's like less than an hour. So, and going on the side with chiropractors, I know how hard you guys work. I know how many adjustments you need to do in a day to be profitable. So this device is such an untapped resource if we are not having the proper processes built around it. So going back to in the treatment room then, so you did a great consultation, they bought a package, now what? So first of all, we want to be super hands-on with this. So again, if it's not you, if you're the main provider and you have a team, either train one of your team members to be your specific Zerona or Emerald person, but get everyone on the same page. So first of all, first treatment, photos. So I recommend someone wears a swimsuit or their undergarments. You want photos taken from the front, from the side, from the back. At that first treatment, you want to do standardized measuring as well. If you are on my private Facebook page, Zerona Glow Your Business, I have posted in the saved posts a full-length video on measuring. So we use standardized measuring, the good old-fashioned measuring tape, but we use based on bony landmarks of the body, and it's the same measuring that I've used in physiology labs. My background is exercise physiology, but I love standardized measuring because where their bony landmarks are not going to change unless something terrible happened to them. But we should be able to consistently measure the same area on the person every single time that we measure. So I measure at the first appointment and then immediately after the first appointment as well, because you will have a difference. You absolutely will. Whether it's a quarter inch, a half inch, an inch, what have you, you will have a difference. And then every other treatment, we measure where we are treating. And then halfway through, we do all of the measurements again, continue with every other treatment measuring. And then at the very end, we measure at the final appointment. Now, if you can have them come in 30 days post and do another final measurement, that's wonderful, but you'll still be able to demonstrate that they got great results Another thing too with these measurements and people being overpromised, like, oh, the FDA trial said that you'll lose, 3.25 inches in 6 treatments. So that's what we're expecting. Well, you're not doing an FDA trial. You're not doing everything that happened in the FDA trial. So think about real life, right? So you are doing standardized measuring, which is exactly where anywhere else is measuring, like a metabolic physician, a dietitian, a personal trainer, anyone who's been taught the actual medically backed way of measuring results with a tape measure that you would actually report findings. And that's what I'm talking about. So if you're not measuring all of that time, that's when also you kind of get a pulse on, did they go off the rails a little bit? Did they have a bad week? Is there something going on metabolically that we can tweak? Are they having some liver or lymphatic issues? But my point is, if we set the expectations that they're going to lose all these inches, because everyone's different, really in the exercise physiology world, if you can lose an inch off your waist in an entire month of hitting it hard, diet is perfect, cardio, weight training, all the things. If one of my clients could lose an entire inch off their waist in 1 month, oh my gosh, I'd be doing cartwheels around the gym. So to put in perspective, we don't want to have this jaded view of promising someone, oh, if you're doing 6 sessions, you're going to lose 6 inches. No, we are going to celebrate every bit that they lose, because here's the thing. We're not only dealing with the aesthetic side, the inflammation's dropping, their clothes are going to fit better as long as they're moving forward like planned in the way these devices work. So during the treatment coaching, I also want you to ask at every session, how's your water intake been? What about alcohol? I mean, we know that those 2 days after the treatment, it's so important to really, really limit alcohol, because your body will lymphatically have to deal with that first. So we don't want to stack anything on. How's your nutrition? How's your movement? Have you gotten any exercise this week? What are your challenges? What have you won on? Are you doing really good? Have you tracked your food? Have you gotten your water goal? What have you been struggling with? You literally have 2 15-minute segments if you're doing Emerald, 2 20-minute segments if you're doing Zerona Z6, or 2 10-minute segments if you're doing the Zerona VZ8 to talk to this person. So I strongly encourage, stay in the room. This is such an opportunity to further coach and also chat with them about what else you do in your clinic. What else do you offer? Do they even know everything that you do? And it becomes coaching then, not just a passive treatment. Please do not buy the device, put someone in front of a video. If they do bite on it, which in my opinion, that's kind of like a miracle if you don't spend any time with them and you expect them to buy something based on a video, and then they show up for it, and then you just kind of set it and forget it. No wonder why some places are not making money on this and getting their ROI. So when you're not making money on it, that means you're also not helping people as much as you could be either. So ponder that. And I'm not trying to be harsh here. I am your ally. I want you to be successful, because that's more people that can be impacted, including you and your practice, your team, Okay, now let's talk about post-treatment accountability. We send a text to every single patient/client the day after they do any treatment in my clinic, whether it's Zerona, Emerald, tattoo removal, hair removal, veins, tox, whatever. We send them a actual little message that's like, hey, Sally, this is Jamie from Glow, just checking to see how you're feeling after your session yesterday. And I cannot even tell you how many people mention that. And they've mentioned in our reviews, they've told our team, oh my gosh, I can't believe you guys actually texted me. Because let me tell you, in the med spa world, this doesn't really happen, ever. You might get a little nudge oh, hey, it's been 3 months since you've gotten Botox. It's time to schedule. But that like next level of personalization really goes a long way. And that again is showing and demonstrating that your patients, your clients are so important. And when you make someone feel important, they are more bought into what you're doing. Just send that quick little message, whether you have a texting app. We have an iPhone that is connected to our number and we just text them. You can also, if you use an online booking system, most of those have where you can push out a message, send a quick email. And again, if you're the main provider and this feels very overwhelming, delegate it to someone who can do it for you. You don't always have to be the main cook in the kitchen, especially when you have other things to do. So that's huge. But they ultimately know they're supported and that you're truly an ally for them. And that just solidifies more like they want in on what you have going on. So really, this was like all the truth I feel like a lot of providers needed to hear. If your results feel inconsistent, that does not mean you're failing. It means no one taught you how to build the system around your device. And that's so fixable. So I created a free little guide that you can download in the show notes, but also I'm creating a inclusive course. So it's an ROI course for Zerona and Emerald providers. It's not just another boring device overview. I know we all know the science inside and out and, how to use it, why to use it, all that. But what I'm creating is a real world blueprint for turning your machine into the profit center that it can be and should be, and you deserve it to be. So this course is going to have the exact consultation system that I use at Glow for everything. I also did a really great webinar with Erconia a while back at their event in Scottsdale, Arizona last fall, and we talked all about the consult system we use, the measurements that we use, like with a video, and again, that Zerona Glow Your Business private Facebook page. If you're a provider or you're thinking about being a provider, come find the page. It's private, but I'll add you. Just make even a note that you reference the podcast and I'll let you in. So we talk about all kinds of stuff. We're going to talk about how to build packages, compliance strategies, retention systems. We're going to talk about marketing, huge, 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 huge. Physiology of your clients and your team, and maybe how to do a few mindset shifts for ourselves as well. I have a few results-driven add-ons too. This is going to show you how to become the go-to provider in your market. Because owning the device is one thing, knowing how to monetize it consistently and get consistent results is another. And I want to help you with both. Final thought here, if you've been frustrated, please do not lose faith in yourself. Don't lose faith in the device. Let's build a system, because when systems improve, results improve, confidence improves, revenue improves, everything improves. If this episode hit home, you're exactly why I'm creating this ROI course for Zerona and Emerald providers. I'll teach you how to get better client results, stronger retention, and more revenue using systems that actually work. The course is scheduled to drop July 1st, and you'll hear more about it as we get there. But in the meantime, download my free guide located in the show notes. And if you'd like to work with me directly, I do one-on-one coaching as well. You can email me at lasersecrets@yahoo.com. I also would love to invite you to follow Laser Secrets Coaching on Instagram. And that's all for today. And I hope to work with you all very soon. Have a great day.